This is the third in our series of videos looking at how we completed a basic setup and configuration of a Synology network attached storage device, or as they're more commonly referred to, a NAS. Our aim with this video is to offer a point of reference to help you integrate a NAS into your home network. And while Synology may offer many different models of NAS, the same basic principles that we walk you through in this video can be applied to all Synology NAS devices. In our previous video, we completed a basic install of the Disk Station Manager software, which is the operating system for all Synology NAS products. We then ran through the setup wizard to complete a basic setup that integrates the NAS into our home network. As we left the previous video still logged into the Disk Station Manager user interface, let's take a short tour of the main elements that make up the DSM. As you can see, the DSM was designed to replicate a generic desktop environment, which is one of the reasons why we prefer to use a Synology NAS over other makes of NAS devices. At the top of the user interface, you can see that we have a main menu button, a taskbar, and a notification area or system tray. If we start on the top left side and select the main menu button, we are presented with all of the services and features that have been installed onto this NAS. When we add additional functionality to this NAS, more icons will become available. Next, we have Package Center, which can be best described as Synology's equivalent to an app store. The term package simply refers to a piece of software or an application that has been verified by Synology to work with their products. When you install a package, you are adding additional functionality or features to your network attached storage device. If we select Installed, we are shown which packages have been installed onto this NAS. However, as this NAS has only just been installed with a new instance of the DSM operating system, we currently only have the default packages installed, File Station and Universal Search. You can see that we have buttons next to each of the packages we currently have installed. This is to notify us that each of these packages have updates available. We'll be looking at updating packages in a future video. If we select all, we are presented with a list of the packages that this NAS is able to install. While most of the packages here are available to the many different models of NAS products that Synology produce, you will find that certain packages are limited to specific models of NAS. Next, we have Control Panel. This is where you can adjust the system preferences and settings for your NAS. You can see that the Control Panel is divided into areas: File Sharing, Connectivity, and System. However, this is simply Basic Mode, designed to show you only the settings that you are most likely to need on a regular basis. If we select Advanced Mode, you can see that we're presented with additional options. In future videos, we will be looking at some of these options in more depth, but for now, let's return to Basic Mode. File Station is the DSM equivalent of a File Explorer application, in that you would use File Station to perform tasks like creating, copying, moving, renaming or deleting files and folders from the hard drives of your NAS. As we have not yet set up any shared folders, File Station is of very limited use, and the application is asking us if we want to create a shared folder. As we're not ready for this step yet, let's select Cancel and close File Station. DSM Help, as the name suggests, is a resource that can assist you with the setup of your NAS. If you type in a subject, for example, Backup, DSM Help will offer suggestions regarding subjects that may be related to the thing that you are searching for help on. In the top right-hand side of the screen, we have a number of icons. If we start from the left side, the first icon is Notifications. Notifications will display any messages that your NAS offers regarding the completion or failure of a task. For example, after completing a backup, the NAS will issue a notification confirming the success or failure of that backup. Next, we have Options, which relates to specific options for the account that you currently have open, in this case the administrator's account. If we select Personal, we can see information about the account that we're logged in with. We will be looking at some of these settings in more depth when we create user accounts, but for now let's close this window. Restart, as the name suggests, will restart the NAS, while Shutdown will power the NAS off. About explains what the DSM is and allows you to view the operating system's terms and conditions. Logout will log us out of the administrator's account and return us to the NAS's login in screen. Search allows you to search files and folders on your NAS. However, as we have not yet set up any shared folders or indexed the contents of the folders, this function does not currently work. We will be looking at indexing and searching in a future video. Finally, we have widgets, which are small windows that remain fixed to the desktop to display useful information about your NAS. By default, the widgets will consist of System Health and Resource Monitor. As you can see, widgets can be moved into any position on the desktop and then pinned into place. There is also an option to move the widgets to 4 fixed places on the desktop. While the number of alternative widgets available to you is limited, you can add or remove widgets from the desktop. If we select the plus symbol, by removing the tick next to a widget option, that widget is removed. You can see that we have a Storage, Connected Users, Scheduled Tasks, File Changelog, and Recent Log widgets. Let's add the Storage widget. If we place a tick next to a widget option, that widget will be added to the desktop. The size of the widgets can be adjusted so that all widgets are viewable. However, you cannot split the widgets apart so that they can be viewed individually. So to recap, we've taken a tour of the DSM desktop and reviewed the main menu, Package Center, Control Panel, File Station, DSM Help, and the System Tray. Finally, let's log out of the DSM desktop, ready for the next video in this series where we will be looking at how you can and why you should assign a static IP address to your NAS.